Harper Audio presents Downtown by Anne Rivers Siddons. Performed by Kate Burton. The first thing I saw was a half-naked woman dancing in a cage above Peachtree Street. It was a floodlit steel and plexiglass affair hung from a second-story window, and the dancer closed her eyes and snapped her fingers as she danced in place, in a spangled miniskirt and white go-go boots, moving raptly to unheard music. It was twilight on the Saturday of Thanksgiving weekend, 1966, when we reached 5 Points in downtown Atlanta, and the neon sign that chased itself around the bottom of the dancer's cage said, "Peach, a go-go." "Holy Mother of God, look at that," my father said, and slammed on the brakes of the Oldsmobile Vista Cruiser that he loved only marginally less than my mother, or rather, by that time, more. I thought he meant the go-go dancer, and opened my mouth to make reassuring noises of shock and disapproval, but he was not looking up at her. He was looking at a straggling line of young Negro men and women walking up and down in front of what I thought must be a delicatessen. The walkers seemed to swim in the heavy air. They carried cardboard placards, ink running in the mist, that read, "Freedom now" and "We shall overcome." My heart gave a small fish flop of recognition. Pickets, real civil rights pickets. Perhaps inside a sit-in was in process. Here it was at last, after all the endless, airless years in the Irish Channel back in Savannah, drowned in the twin shadows of the sleeping Creole South and the Mother Church. Here was life. Caught in traffic, my father averted his eyes from the picketers as if they were naked, and lifted them toward the alien heavens above him, and saw the dancer in her cage. He jerked his foot off the clutch, and the Vista Cruiser stalled. "Jesus, Joseph, and Mary," he squalled. "I'm turning around this minute and taking you home. Sodom and Gomorrah, this place is. You got no business in this place, darling. Look at that hussy, her bare bottom hanging out for all the world to see. Look at those spooks, wanting to eat in a place that don't want them. And have we passed a single church in all this time? We have not, and likely the ones that are here are all Protestant. I told your mother, didn't I? Didn't I tell her? You come on back with me now, and go to work for the insurance people, them that want you so bad. Didn't they say they'd let you run the company newspaper if you'd stay?" Behind us a horn blared, and then another. "Pa, please," I said. "It's nothing to do with me. I don't think my office is anywhere near here. Hank said it's across from a museum. I don't see any museum around here. I bet this part of town is just for tourists. And, Pa, I'll go to Mass every Sunday, and Friday, too, if I have time. And after all, I'm staying in the church home for girls. What on earth could happen to me at Our Lady?" "We don't know anything about these Atlanta Catholics," my father said darkly, but he started the Oldsmobile and inched it forward into the next block. "Catholics are Catholics. You've seen one, you've seen us all," I said in relief. We were past the go-go dancer and the marching Negroes now. "I heard some of them take that pill thing." "Of course they don't," I said, honestly scandalized. "You're just talking now. You heard no such thing." "Well, I wouldn't be surprised if I did hear it," he said, but my shock had reassured him. He looked at me out of the corner of one faded blue eye and winked, and I squeezed his arm. My father was in his late 60s then. I was the last child of 6, spawn of his middle age, and he was a bitter caricature of the bandy-legged, brawling little man upon whose wide shoulders I had ridden when I was small. But his wink could still make me smile, still summon a shaving of the old adoration that his corrosive age and his endless anger had all but smothered. Most of the time now I no longer loved my father, but here, closed in this warm car with the jewel dark of my new city all around me, I could remember how I had. "There's nothing for you to worry about," I said. "Aren't I Liam O'Donnell's daughter, then?" The convent school where I had spent 12
Sample complete. Ready to continue?